Hey family, happy Wednesday. I am so sorry that I'm a day behind on this week's Kingdom and Culture Chat, but listen, I got something to share with you guys this week. I have had an interesting week this week. My daughter had a bike accident on Sunday and fell off her bike, tumbled off her bike, I should say, had serious injuries, had to go to the hospital. It was a whole thing. And if your child has ever been seriously injured, then you understand that, it was scary. It was all the things, but, or I should say, and in the middle of all of that, we've been, having swelling and pain and aching cuts and bruises and all of that over the last couple of days. And it's been, such a journey. And I would just also say it was so interesting. So today, she had a rough morning, but then this afternoon she started feeling better. And as she started feeling better, she wanted to go outside. And, me as mommy, I'm like, well, don't do too much. Take your time. Don't overdo it. My daughter wanted to go by and see her grandparents this afternoon. So we're out there, and ironically, not the same bike that she had the accident in, but a different bike was at my father-in-law's house and my mother-in-law's house. And so we're over there spending time with them, and she's like, and she looks at me, she pauses and she says, excuse me, she pauses and she says, Mommy, I want to go outside and ride my bike. And I knew in that moment that this was not an instance where it was, oh, I want to overcome, or excuse me, this was not a moment where she was just saying, I want to overcome something small. She was like, this mountain will move. This will not stop me. One injury or setback will not stop me. And she went outside and she got on that bike, y'all. And when I say she rode it, my father-in-law was there and he was like, well, be careful. You're not an experienced bike rider. A few minutes later, he said, she came back around the circle. She said, well, what does an experienced bike rider do? And he said, well, normally they can stop themselves and push the pedals back and be able to do this. And so she said, okay. She shook her head. She went off. Then she went as fast as she could. She came towards us and did the exact thing that he said an experienced bike rider couldn't do. Well, she's like, and I said, I looked at my mother-in-law and I said, this is her. This is my child who looked at the face of adversity and said, you won't stop me. And in that moment, as I told her earlier today, I was so proud of you for not allowing fear, not allowing timidity, not allowing the pain that you are experiencing in this moment to stop you from overcoming what's right there in front of you. And I want to encourage somebody. You may be in a scenario today, right now, going through a season even where you have this mountain in front of you. You may have even been hurt by this mountain. This mountain may have really given you a run for your money, right? You just can't figure out how you're going to talk yourself into overcoming this adversity. And maybe it's not your first time going around this mountain. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror, and I want you to look at that mountain and say, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. It is not myself. It is he. Greater is he that is living in me than he that's in the world. And I'm here today to testify not just of what God, the miracle God is working in my daughter, but how he takes those painful spots and is able to work in them, to just bring about a tenacity that we will not be stopped. That one setback is just a setup for me to be able to be even stronger in the future. And so be encouraged today, whatever that mountain is in front of you, just like I'm so extremely proud of Tessa. I knew in that moment earlier today when she said, you know what, I want to ride my bike. I knew it was time to overcome what had been overcoming her. And it's the same thing with you. If you have something that's been overcoming you, today's your day to overcome it. Hey, have a great week. Love you so much.